Hey, welcome. What if building wealth had less to do with your bank account and way more to do with combining ancient wisdom with modern business strategy? Well, today we're diving into a super powerful framework from Shao Ben Daniel that could completely redefine how you think about financial success. Let's jump in.
So let's just start with this question right here. We're always told to focus on what we have, the assets, the investments, all that stuff. But what if real lasting wealth is actually about who we become on the journey? This little shift in thinking, well, it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
To really get this, we need a whole new blueprint. And look, this is not your typical financial advice. We're talking about a powerful system that merges two worlds that, honestly, most people would never dream of putting together.
Now, the reason this framework is so powerful is because of its creator. He's both a rabbi and he has an MBA. Just think about that for a second. On one side, you've got this deep, ancient wisdom about purpose and meaning. And on the other, you've got the sharp, strategic mind you need for today's economy. It's that mix, the spiritual and the practical, that makes this whole thing so unique.
So, let's get really clear on this new definition of wealth. It's not just a number in your bank account. It's a process. It's a journey of becoming a more capable, more purposeful person. And that kind of transformation doesn't just happen by accident. Nope, it's built on 6 key ideas we're about to walk through.
The first 3 keys are all about mastering what we can call the inner game. See, before you can get anything done on the outside, you have to build the right foundation on the inside. This is where the real work starts.
Our journey kicks off with key number 1, visualization. And hey, this isn't just wishful thinking or daydreaming, it's a legit strategic process. Neuroscience actually shows that when you vividly imagine hitting a goal, your brain starts building the pathways as if you were really doing it. It's like you're running a simulation for success before you even take a single step.
And this is not some new idea. This ancient piece of wisdom from Proverbs lines up perfectly with what modern science is figuring out. What you constantly hold in your mind, your vision, your focus, your core beliefs, that is what shapes the reality you see around you. Your inner world literally builds your outer world.
Key number 2 is alignment. And this one is so important because let's be real, building serious wealth is rarely a solo mission. When you and your partner are on the exact same page with a shared vision, you're not just 2 people trying to manage money. You become one powerful economic unit where all your efforts multiply instead of clash.
I mean, this amazing question from the book of Amos just says it all, doesn't it? You just can't make progress together if you're trying to walk in 2 different directions. Financial harmony isn't just nice to have, it's a critical piece for success, both in your relationship and your bank account.
The final key of this inner game is focused intensity. You can think of this as the ultimate weapon against our crazy, distracted world. It's the big difference between just being busy and actually being productive. This is the bridge that takes a brilliant idea and turns it into a real-world achievement, all by channeling your energy toward one clear goal.
This quote just captures the spirit perfectly. It's not just about doing the work, right? It's about putting your all into it, giving it your full, purposeful effort. It's about being completely locked in on the task in front of you. That's how you build mastery.
And if you want a real-world example of this power, just look at the story of Nehemiah. He was facing nonstop opposition, but he managed to rebuild the entire walls of Jerusalem in just 52 days. How? Through an insane, unwavering focus on one single mission. That is what this key is all about.
Okay, so once you've dialed in that inner game, it's time to take all that clarity and turn it into real results out in the world. So let's move on to the next 3 keys which make up the outer game. This is where the rubber meets the road.
And the first key of the outer game is action. It sounds so simple, but this is the place where countless great ideas go to die. Action is what breaks through inertia. It's what happens when you stop planning, stop researching, and you just start doing. Without action, everything else is just a nice theory.
There's actually a term for this. Psychologists call it the intention-behavior gap. It's that space between what we plan to do and what we actually, do. The most successful people aren't the ones with the most brilliant plans. They're the ones who consistently close that gap with decisive daily action.
And this proverb just lays it out, plain and simple. It's a blunt reminder that wealth isn't something that just happens to you. It's the direct result of consistent, diligent action. Diligence is the engine that drives prosperity.
Key number 5 is leverage, and this one is a real game changer. It's all about getting more out of what you put in.
Think about it like this. You can try to lift a giant rock with your bare hands, or you can use a lever. Same effort, but the tool multiplies your results. In business, your levers are things like technology, money, or other people's skills. But, and this is a really important warning, this quote reminds us that leverage isn't about being hasty or chasing get-rich-quick schemes. That's just being reckless. Real leverage comes from diligent planning. It's about carefully building systems that multiply your effort, not just rolling the dice and hoping for the best.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most profound key of them all, value creation. This idea completely flips the old way of thinking about wealth. Instead of asking, how can I get more money, you start asking, what meaningful problem can I solve for someone else? When you focus on serving others and creating real value, wealth becomes a natural byproduct.
And this quote just beautifully sums up the kind of wealth that comes from creating value. It's a type of prosperity that's sustainable, it's meaningful, and it doesn't come with all the trouble. The stress, the burnout, the shady compromises that can happen when you're just chasing money for money's sake.
So, how do we pull all of this together? These 6 keys aren't just a random list of ideas. They form a single, integrated system, a clear path you can actually follow.
So think of it like this, right? It's a clear progression. You start on the inside, planting that seed of possibility with visualization. Then you build a team around it with alignment, and you water it with focused intensity. Then you take it out into the world. You break ground with action, you get massive growth with leverage, and you make sure it all produces something worthwhile by focusing on value creation.
Okay, so what can you do, like right now? Here are 3 super simple practical steps. First, make a vision board to make your goals feel real. Second, schedule a financial date night with your partner to get on the same page. And third, pick one small action step you've been procrastinating on and just do it today.
And really, this is the final thought I want to leave you with. This whole philosophy boils down to one huge shift in how you see things. The goal isn't just about getting rich. The goal is about becoming valuable. So the real question for you is, what value will you create?